What's up guys, it's Keith, and in this production cycle, the video that I've made is to show my narrative about how we need to be better media critics through humor. The biggest problem with journalism these days is that people tend to only read headlines and not the actual article. And so this is the reason why clickbait runs so rampantly on sites like Facebook and Twitter. Because unless the headline is super interesting, nobody's going to read your article. It also has to do with the algorithms that decide what trends and what doesn't, but that's another story. So first of all, what is clickbait? Clickbait is a popular internet epithet for misleading headlines that force you to click on the article in order to find out what happens next, only to find an anticlimactic solution. Clickbait-ridden articles tend to be razor thin and have no value. So think of every top 10 things you didn't know about X type articles, or every article that you've ever read that goes, people are freaking out about X and it's Y. Admittedly, Vice doesn't necessarily abuse clickbait as bad as some other sites do, but the reason I picked Vice for this game was because of the downright ridiculous and harebrained nature of their articles that tend to fool people into thinking it's satire at first. And I picked Clickhole and the Onion articles for basically the exact opposite reason of the latter, because they're usually spectacular at social commentary through satire when it becomes increasingly more difficult to distinguish it from reality. We live in a nation that proudly hails innocent until proven guilty, although many people are ignorant to the fact that this very rule goes out the window when they flock towards a single conclusion like fireflies into a light when a misleading or biased headline shows up on your social media. If you're adamant about any topic, don't just read one article about it and then stand on your self-righteous soapbox. Read the whole case first from many sources and then make a decision on your own moral judgment, completely and entirely regardless of what the media may want you to think. People that feed the dumpster fire that is clickbait journalism are what's ruining America, and it's happening faster than we think. Until either A, these sites and news organizations have enough humility to realize their mistakes and attempt to undo the damage they've done by conveying the same warning, or B, people wake up and realize that they've been eating up garbage media like cattle and stop giving these sites their business. But I digress. In the end, either one of those two solutions will happen or the apocalypse of bad journalism will get worse. But hey, at least satire sites and stand-up comedians have plenty of material as long as they're around.
Sounds like a joke.
Okay, so anyway, so I've built up this game a lot over the last couple days, and I'm glad that we are finally sitting down to play it. So basically, the point of this game is to read. I'm gonna read you guys some headlines, and the point of the video overall is to kind of teach people to be better critics of media through humor. And now, when I read you guys these headlines, you can ask me questions that I may or may not answer. But you got to decide if the headline that I just read you, is satire, and it's just, fake and made for laughs, or if it was written by news press Vice, and it's totally real, okay?
You say Vice?
Vice.
Right.
So I'm going to read you an article, and then I'm going to ask Vice or satire, okay? So, first one. Heartwarming. Make-A-Wish is granting this terminally ill boy's disgusting hand fantasy. Vice or satire?
I gotta go with fake.
I'm gonna go with the Vice because is there more adding on to it?
That was satire.
Yeah.
Okay. Man who invested early in Bitcoin wishes he had friends to spend the money with.
Sounds real.
Yeah, that's gotta be real.
Satire.
Oh hey.
Report. Women only made up 2.7% of video game bosses last year.
Satire.
Pass.
Satire. We made our health editor eat like Trump for a week, and she felt terrible.
Sounds like BuzzFeed.
Yeah, that's gotta be real.
Vice. That's Vice. Australian nudists want people to stop having sex on nude beaches.
I think that sounds like something real.
Vice.
Okay, that's Vice. Okay. The fetish community is ready to whip President Trump.
That
Satire.
I think that's Vice.
That's Vice.
Oh,
You find the weirdest things ever in the fetish community.
Planning ahead. ISIS has asked Donald Trump to give more of a heads up next time he drops a massive gift like the Muslim ban in its lap. False.
It's satire.
Satire.
Fake news.
Okay. I got cocaine blown up my ass so you don't have to.
Sounds like BuzzFeed.
Yeah, it's gotta be real.
That is real. Here's a video.
Oh!
That's BuzzFeed.
Let's see. What Hitler's supposedly tiny deformity tells us about how we view evil.
Satire.
Vice. That's Vice. If video games make children more violent, why do they keep losing fistfights against me?
Blasphemous HD.
That's good, but I'm gonna have to go with satire.
That's Satire. There you go. That's it. Let's see. How can racism still exist when it was defeated by ska in 1998? It's a hard one.
I'm going with Vice on this one.
Hundreds of drummers something talking about.
That's Satire.
You're like an idiot. Turn these cameras on.
We met a transgender Mormon activist.
Vice.
Well, I know the Mormon community went like after the gay marriage thing, so I think it's fake.
That is Vice.
So Vice is real.
That's Vice. Yeah. That's real.
Wow.
People these days, man.
I would have made it as an artist if my actual parents weren't so supportive. True.
Yeah, that's Vice.
That's Satire.
Really?
Oh.
Really?
The unspoken truth.
The water Illuminati are rallying against the National Park Service's proposed bottled water ban.
It's Illuminati. They can't mention Illuminati in the news.
Vice.
Oh no!
I know the Illuminati was real, so like.
Okay, here's our last one for today, boys. Bad trip. Somehow Vice knows I just took acid and won't stop asking me to write about it.
Fake.
That's gotta be Vice.
That's Satire.
Oh man! Dang it.
So the Satire is self-aware about it, you know? So, yeah, anyway, I wasn't keeping track of how many points you guys got, but I'll tally it up in the video and see who won.